Alright, hello again, trying this again for a fifth time now. This is your boy Mr. What If here, bringing you a brand new lovely little video on my YouTube channel. So, this is gonna be what if Deku had a stand. Now, this is gonna be how I'm doing it is gonna be way completely different. So, in this, there's gonna be both, Stan and Hamon. And I'm explaining that in a minute, in a little bit in details. If you're wondering, yes, this is what Deku's gonna look like. But his name is not gonna be Deku. His name is gonna be Joey Izuku Joestar. So yes, he's gonna be a descendant of the Joestar blood. And I know what some of you saying, wait a minute, how is Deku gonna be a Joestar blood? How is he gonna get a stand? What is his stand? So, Deku's stand, his stand looks something like this. So this is what Deku's stand looks like. Now the name of his stand is, well, let's see. You all know how some of the stands are named after very famous songs or musical bands. So I had a discussion with my friend on Discord, and the link to my Discord will be in the description, and supporting other people's channels will also be in the link in the description. But there's also what's it called? He helped me out with coming up for the name with it. And we decided, since we wanted to bring it a little bit modern age, and due to how the century is, since the Joestars are from the 19th century to, not from the 19th, from the 17th century to the 19th century. So since it's somewhat like that, I think there was also the 20th century. So it was 17th century to the 19th century. But the year of My Hero Academia is in the 21st century. So I'm gonna say that there were a few people with stands. I'm gonna say Hamon was still around, but it was not noticeable. Well, people with Hamon wouldn't really be recognized because that would most likely die out, or people would just completely forget about it, or wouldn't even know what that is. I'm gonna say that stands are still around, but it's rare, like straight up rare, to find somebody with a stand for a court or have a stand. And yes, Deku's stand is going to be a court. I don't know what some of you are gonna, and his stand is gonna be, people are gonna be able to see his stand. People will be able to see his stand. I know what you're gonna say. Wait, that takes away from the stand and all of that. But there's one. But you have to remember, even though it's a stand, due to the world being mixed with quirks and all of that, I'm gonna say at one point there was probably a glitch somewhere that allowed the stands to be seen. Because out of the time span from Jolene, because that's what I'm gonna start. So the way Deku's gonna be a descendant, he's gonna be a descendant from Josuke. Josuke from Diamond is Unbreakable. He's gonna be descended from him, not from Jolene. So he's gonna be a descendant from that part of the family. So he's gonna be a full-on blood Joestar. And his mother is gonna have the same name, Inko, but it's not gonna be Inko Midoriya. It's gonna be Inko Joestar. And how she figures this out is that, I'm gonna say that during the time skip from the 19th century to the 21st century, I'll say that the family name rebuilt itself and became glorious and famous. So I'm gonna say that the Joestar name built itself back up to fame again, because we seen in the first JoJo Bizarre Adventure that they were rich. So I'm gonna say that the name once again becomes back up into fame. And due to the new Society of Heroes, it definitely became even more famous. And I'm gonna say that Hormone is also still around. Hormone is only around, but to only vary those. Hormone is like an urban legend. To hear that people have Hormone or have a quirk related to Hormone is like an urban legend. So Deku Stan, his stand name is going to be Smooth Criminal. That's going to be the name of Deku Stan, the Smooth Criminal. And his stand's ability is called the Iron. It's called the Iron Hole. So he's able to use the iron shackles, as you can clearly see, the iron shackles on the legs and on the arms. He's able to use the iron shackles as like somewhat of a gateway to like weaponry or just to escape a dangerous situation. He can also increase the density of the shackles, so when his stand does the rapid punches of fist, does the rapid fist punches, the barrage, it does way more damage. And I wanna see, and please comment down below, what do you want his stand to say? Because we all know when stand punches, when they do their rapid attacks of punches, they have their little thing like they say. Like Dio had Mura, Jotaro had or Ura, whatever, which one you want to say it. And then of course Yosuke had Dora, and Jonoro Giovanna had Muramura. So what do you guys want Deku to have for his? Alright. So now I'm gonna go into how Hormone is still around. Hormone will still be around, but like I said, it's an urban legend. So now we're gonna get back into Deku and how, well, JoJo. I'm not gonna call him Deku, he's gonna be JoJo. That's his nickname. So how the story would go is his family, well, Deku's gonna be born in a rich family, be very wealthy. And I'll say that when Deku was 5 years old, Deku was always fascinated about quirks. He was always fascinated about quirks. I'll say that he's a little bit more determined in than canon to study quirks and all that. I'll say that he's very observant. And Deku wants to become a hero, but he also wants to follow in his family's footsteps of becoming his family. I'll say that due to the construction business. I would say that his family became rich over the construction business, and some were heroes. Some people in the family were pro heroes. But I'm gonna say that Deku, he wants to be a hero, but he also wants to be a gang star. And if you don't know where I got gang star from, then you have not watched Golden Wind. Alright, so Deku, he wants to become his own type of gang star. And Deku, when he was little, he always would love to wear suits. Suits was like his number one thing. And as Deku got older, he would always feel like he has somebody watching him. Like if somebody was always there watching him, but he didn't know who. And then one day when Deku was playing with some of the kids in his school, in a private school he went to, a kid with, he saw a kid with white and red hair being bullied by some kid with a transformation quirk. Now Deku, he wasn't gonna let this stand, and Deku wasn't gonna let this stand by, because you know the JoJo blood is always ready to go up against evil and bad people. So Deku, just for no apparent reason that he doesn't even know, just steps in front of the two of them, and he says, "If you don't leave them, you don't leave this boy alone, you're gonna be facing and have to deal with me. And then the boy would start laughing, and then the boy would use his transformation quirk and transform into somewhat like a giant lizard. A medium-sized lizard because they're little. So a medium-sized lizard the boy would transform into. And then Deku, and then Joe, and then the boy with the lizard transformation quirk would say, "Who do you think you are?" And then Deku, and then JoJo, I can't say Deku, JoJo would say, "My name is Joey Izuku Joestar, and I'm going to be the world's greatest gangstar to ever live." And then the lizard boy would start laughing and say, "Don't you mean gangster?" And then Deku would say, "No, gang star." And then the boy would try to throw a punch at Deku, but out of nowhere, a tall, sinister white man with shackles all over his legs and arms would appear right in front of the both of them, grabbing the little boy's fist and throwing the little boy back up against the wall. And then Deku and the red and white-headed boy would look in amazement seeing a tall man that looks just like this. And then this tall, sinister, skinny, what of a skeleton-looking man with shackles on his arms and legs is just standing in front of Deku. And then the little boy and his friend, the little lizard boy and his friends would run off due to seeing some weird figure. And then this is when the word figure would start to turn into some mystic wind and disappear. And Deku would be in amazement to see how this guy appeared and then disappeared. And then this is when the boy with red and white hair would say, "What was that?" And then Izuku would say, "I have no idea." And then the police would be called and everything as well. And then Izuku would explain that, it was only when it was only somewhat like how he knew I was gonna be hurt that the guy appeared, and then when I wasn't gonna get hurt or wasn't gonna be endangered, he somehow disappeared into thin air. And then the police would get a little bit worried about how this kid saying that how all these kids are saying the same exact thing. And then this is when Izuku would get a little curious and ask his mom to take him to the court doctor. And then his mom would say, "Really? Already?" And then Izuku would say, "Yes, I want to see if my quirk might have manifested." And then next day, they go to the court doctor, and the court doctor seems to do a lot of tests, but it seems like that Izuku is showing no signs of a quirk. And then Izuku suggests why not put him in a dangerous situation. And then the court doctor, well, it's a different court doctor. She says, "Why would you want to be in a dangerous situation?" And then Izuku would say, "I don't know." And then his mom would be hesitant. And then Izuku would say, "You're forgetting, Mom. I have the Joestar blood in me, so I'll never back down from anything." And then his mom would say, "Fine, but don't hurt yourself." And then Joey would say, "All right." And then this is when the doctors would put him in a dangerous situation, and they see that the same man, and then they see something start to like mist from air, and they would see a man grabbing. They would see the same white man that they were talking about, and as the dude grabs Deku and gets Deku out the way. and then they see it. And then this is when one of the doctors, a very old man, a very old doctor would say, he has a stand. It seemed like the boy has a stand. And then everybody, and then the doctors, including Zuko's mom, turns around and see a man in a wheelchair saying that boy has a stand. But it seems to be mixed with today's society known as a quirk. And then his mom would say, a stand? What are you talking about? That urban legend about how people had spirits that would fight for them? And then the dude in the wheelchair would say, exactly. And the female doctor would register um his Zuku's quirk as a stand. Then over time, as Deku's growing up, his mom sees a lot of changes in him. One, his demeanor has actually cooled down. He's become more laid back, a little bit more serious than before, and his hair color changed from green to silver with a little bit of neon light blue. But his eyes got a lighter green, and his skin got a little bit less pale and more life in color. And as Deku's growing up, he is very ambitious to what he wants to do. Hold up. Oh, sorry about that. I had to go fix something. Yeah, so Deku will become more ambitious and he will become a little bit more determined. And Deku's growing up, he becomes more distant from his family and more independent on his own. And one day when Deku's walking from his school to his house, he runs into a girl. Sorry about that. My thing stopped for a sec. He runs into a girl, and this girl says sorry for running into him. And then Deku, as he's walking away, he checks his pockets and sees that she has taken his wallet. And then he says, "Oh no, here we go again." So I'll be ending it off here. Sorry about the pausing and stopping. I had to fix my phone a little bit. And I hope you all like, subscribe, and leave a comment saying what you want his rapid attack to be. What do you want it to be? And go check out everybody in the description below. Peace.